Hello, third graders. Welcome to our lesson today on plant responses. So we have learned how a plant responds to light by turning towards the light in order to get more solar energy, which helps the plant to produce more food. Today, we're going to talk about how does a plant respond to gravity. So if you would please go ahead and open up your reading to page 77. We're on the section that says gravity. And open up your questions to page 86 so we can fill in our before questions. All right, let's go ahead and fill in our true, false, before statements, getting our brain to think. Our first statement says, a seed will not germinate if it is planted upside down. So take a moment to think about that. A seed will not germinate if it is planted upside down. Go ahead and mark if you think that is true or false. Our second statement today says, if a plant is turned on its side, the stem will start growing down because it is pulled by gravity. If a plant is turned on its side, the stem will start growing down because it's pulled by gravity. Go ahead and mark what you think on that. All right, now that we've done that, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to talk about gravity. Remember, gravity is a force that pulls objects towards the center of the earth. That's how you and I are able to stand on the earth, because gravity is pulling us in. That's why when people go to space where there is no gravity, they float. There's nothing pulling them towards the center of earth. So let's talk about how a plant responds. A plant's roots and stems respond to gravity. No matter how a seed is placed, the roots will always grow down in response to gravity. Let's read that sentence again. No matter how a seed is placed, the roots will always grow down in response to gravity. This response helps the roots go down into the soil where they find water and nutrients. The stem will always grow up, away from the pull of gravity. If a plant gets tipped on its side, the plant's stem will start to grow upward again. So that answers two of our questions today. The stem will always grow up away from gravity, and the roots will always grow down towards gravity, no matter how you put a seed in the ground. Let's look at these two pictures here. The picture on the left shows how this plant was tipped on its side. As the plant grew, instead of the stem going out or down, it grew up away from gravity. The picture on the right shows the seed being planted. The seed on the left was planted one way, the seed on the right was planted the opposite. And look, no matter what happened, even as that root came out, it made its way downward, growing towards gravity. After our lesson, you're going to watch a little video that shows you how corn seeds have germinated and how they have grown faster. Now, this video, when you watch it, is taking 10 days of growth and putting it into just quickly 35 seconds. So it's done really quickly. You also watch a little video about a bean seed germinating and how the roots are growing down and the leaves and the stems are growing up. Here's a picture of some of those seeds germinating. You can see the seed was placed in different directions, but no matter what, the root was going down and the stem was trying to go up. Remember, the first thing you see in the soil is the stem or the leaves. That's not the first thing that comes out of the seed, though. It is the roots. This is a picture to help us understand gravity. Remember, gravity is the force that's pulling us towards the center of the earth. Here is a picture of a seed. So the plant root is coming down here towards the root tip, which is where gravity is. So take a look at some of these pictures we're going to look at here. Which way do you think these plants were going? Exactly. These are being affected by gravity. So this plant came out of the ground. The stem or the trunk is growing up where the root is going down. How do you think that a plant knows which way is up and which way is down? Well, you and I know which way is up and down because we know when we're standing, the sky is up, the ground is down, or the ceiling is up and the ground is down. Even if we close our eyes, we can tell which way is up and which way is down because our body feels that pull of gravity. Seeds and plants have the same concept. They sense that gravity too, and that gravity will pull it down. Here's another plant that's being affected by gravity. You can see how the plant has come out of the ground. The roots are still down in the ground, but the stem is growing upwards away from it. Here's another plant that's being affected by gravity. Also notice how these plants have probably turned towards the light. Here's another plant that's being affected by gravity. The plant was turned on its side and the stem grew up away from gravity. And here is another picture. Okay, so why do plants respond to gravity? Why is that important? Well, remember, a plant's leaves need to grow up into the air because they need to absorb sunlight. The roots of the plant need to go down into the soil because they need to absorb the water and nutrients that are in the soil. If the leaves grew in the soil, they wouldn't absorb sunlight, and therefore the plant would not make food. If the roots were growing in the air, they would struggle to absorb that nutrients in the water that they would need to survive. So a plant is able to respond to the gravity by keeping the roots going down in order to absorb water and nutrients, and for the leaves and the stems to grow up to be able to grow and make food from the sunlight. Next time I see you, we'll be talking about temperature.